Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today we are doing another book cast for the bell jar, and I left the book downstairs so I can't just hold it up, but I want to kind of get through this quickly. It's late and I'm tired and my son is sleeping and I have a whole page of notes to get through here. So if you read the bell jar this past week or two, let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. I thought it was super depressing and that it was kind of like a mashup between, if you ever have read Catcher in the Rye and seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I thought it was like a mashup of those two with a kind of happier ending maybe. And it was just really kind of depressing. Like, why are all the young adult books just about like sex and suicide? I mean, maybe just all the ones I've been reading that I picked up by accident. I mean, I didn't pick them up by accident, but I didn't know that for sure that that's what, they were going to be about, I guess. But in a lot of these books, not in this one necessarily, but in a lot of these young adult books that are about coming of age stories, sexuality, self-harm, depression, suicide, a lot of them glamorize and romanticize it, and it's like, no wonder so many kids are going that direction because they're reading all this crap that's making them think that, oh, this is going to be cool, this is the good choice. Yeah, so that kind of bothers me, not about this book but just in general. Like, I've been reading a lot of those books lately and it just had me thinking. But the book basically is about this girl Esther's journey from cautiously optimistic, like you land right when she's kind of transitioning from an optimistic girl to kind of a very cautiously optimistic young woman. Like, life is kind of just hitting her right in the gut and she's realizing that life is not as grand as maybe she thought it would be, and it leads her down a very, very dark path. So it doesn't glamorize or romanticize sex or depression or suicide. She's a girl who generally knows what she wants, but when she doesn't get something that she wants or isn't sure of what she wants, then she kind of spirals. And I did appreciate about the character as well that she wasn't fragile. She didn't have very thin skin and she wasn't super shallow. She was a little selfish, but I was just thinking after I read the book, because I read most of it today, I was just thinking a lot of characters in books like this are whiny, little, selfish, fragile, thin-skinned brats, and Esther wasn't really most of those things. She was a little selfish, she was a little shallow at times, but she wasn't fragile, or at least she didn't come across that way to me, and she was not at all thin-skinned. She could stand up for herself. She didn't cry about things that happened, bad things that happened to her. Most of it was internal monologue, but still, you didn't see her when something bad happened to her. You didn't really see her running and crying about it to somebody most of the time. Overall, I enjoyed this book. I read the prologue in like half an hour, maybe 15 minutes, and I read the first 42 pages in an afternoon, and that was with a 1-year-old constantly interrupting me. And then I read the remaining 202 pages today. So it's a really quick read. It's a super easy read. It reads fast. It's kind of a short book, and I wasn't really sure when I first started it if I would like the story between the narrator's voice and the writing style, but I kind of warmed up to both, and reading this made me realize, or I guess not realize, but reminded me that yes, of course, grammar and punctuation, correct punctuation are important, but sometimes fiction doesn't really play by those rules, and that was kind of reassuring as well as a writer. And it read like the author is sitting in front of you telling you a story. It didn't read like mechanically. It felt very natural, like a flow, almost like a flow of consciousness. Like she just sat down and wrote it out, and then you know, and now you're reading it. And that's kind of what it felt like to me. I don't want to get too into the details in case people don't want spoilers, I guess, but that's pretty much all I have to say about the book. I did enjoy it. And it's not a book I really want to keep. So I did get it. Let's see. I think when I told you guys about it, I can't remember how I said I came upon this book, but I think I told you I got it from a friend who gave me a box of books, and that was actually incorrect. I got it from the little free library in my neighborhood, and I would put it back. However, somebody put a sign on the little free library stating that only child-friendly books can be deposited in it from now on, which I thought was kind of odd, but okay. So and this is definitely not a child-friendly book, like, at all. So if that is something you're interested in, go to my website, which is listed in the description below and in a pinned comment, and fill out the form at the bottom of the homepage. There will be a pop-up, just exit out of that. Go to the bottom of the homepage, fill that information out, and send me your address, and I will send you a copy of the bell jar. My copy of the bell jar, because if I don't get any takers, I'm just going to give it to Goodwill, and I'd rather just pass it on to somebody who views this video and wants a copy of it. So there's that, and that's really all I have to say. Next time, I want to go over The Traveler's Wife. Now, this is a large book. I think I'm 100 pages into it, and it took a long time to get there. And so I'm thinking so next week will be a writecast video where I give you updates on my writing progress. And then the week after, so in 2 weeks, will be another read cast. But I'm thinking we skip that one because this book is so big, The Time Traveler's Wife. So I'm thinking we just skip a read cast. We'll do the write cast videos as scheduled, and then we'll just skip one read cast week. So I'll post a reminder in the community section of YouTube, as well as on Twitter and Facebook and maybe Instagram. I don't really use Instagram that much. But yeah, so next time we'll be reading The Time Traveler's Wife, and that is all I've got for you. So I hope you enjoyed the bell jar if you read it. If you didn't, let me know in the comments below what you didn't like about it. If you finished it, if you did like it, tell me why also. I would love to hear your thoughts, positive or negative. There's no wrong answer. So yeah, leave a comment below, hit the thumbs up, consider subscribing if you'd like to see more videos, and that will be it. So until next time, guys, happy reading.